The Apostle Paul wrote that love is a bunch of stuff that it really isn't. That it's always kind, patient, does not envy, does not boast, keeps no records of wrong, etc. Funny, it does the exact opposite of all of those things. If I have spoken to you in words of love, I have lied, I think. It's also confusing. Serotonin, epinephrine, oxytocin, vasopressin, testosterone, and estrogen. They're the gene products that come into play because love is the chemistry of insanity. Why go anywhere else for drugs when your body makes them just fine? But I've always had this dark feeling that every drug throughout history had been made to cure feelings of love. And I hate being in love. I've tried so many drugs, but I've never become more than a novice at using them, with the exception of love. Whether legal or illegal, I've cast my lots with the Encyclopedia Pharmacopoeia, wherein I find the usual suspects. Zoloft, Prozac for those times of sadness that just won't go away. They fix that serotonin problem. Celexa, Lexapro for the anxiety of life. That epinephrine that was lost down the drain somewhere suddenly reappeared. Effexor, Cymbalta for the obsessive rant, because sometimes you can't have who you want. Ativan, just because it makes you a dope. Recreational alcohol, of course. The cigarettes, never-ending cigarettes. Porn for when you just can't. Sex for when you can. Music is my everything, and it can move mountains. To others, everything always boils down to sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but I'll add a wrinkle. Of all of these things, love is the worst. Now, when I talk of love, I mean that human thing that sometimes makes us bite our lips and shift our feet and lose all capability of reason at the sight of someone beautiful. Not just physically, but also intellectually. We wonder how they feel and realize just how unimpressive we are. We think, what could we do to have that person in our lives? Change our hair, change our clothes, exercise, wear cologne, get a better job. But really, you're still you. What would you be willing to do? Atticus is standing on a football field amongst 21 other men, including some dude that used to play in the NFL. It's April, and it's overcast, drizzling. Admittedly, he hated this game. A friend had once asked him what he thought of the game, and his reply was, "Oh, it's a castrated gladiatorial game." The friend was nonplussed, but that didn't stop Atticus from continuing his rant. I mean, if you think about it, people actually just want to see others get hurt. That's what every sport is, didn't you know? His friend's reply was a curt, "Fuck you." So how then did our full-grown Atticus end up on a football field with 21 other men and one dude who used to play in the NFL? It's easy. Our little Atticus is in love with a man, and he believes that it is absolutely imperative that he learn this game. Ironically, hilariously, he also believes that it will make him look more straight. Leave it to the listener to figure that one out. 3 months in and he's no closer to his goal. He's learning to play, but nothing whatever in the way of love is forthcoming. 11 men, including he and some dude that used to play in the NFL, were huddled. There are some noises and signals that he pretends to understand, but the only thing he gets out of it is that he's supposed to stay in and block one of the other 11 dudes from taking the flag from the dude who used to play in the NFL. To him, this is hilarious. What is he really doing there besides gathering rain in his shoes and taking up space? Well, momentarily he's in the way of a man who wants to skullfuck the dude that used to play in the NFL. And that's good enough because he trips over Atticus's foot. The guy falls flat on his face, but the pass didn't make it. Like always, Atticus remembers something far in his past. He used to sit out in gym because he was embarrassed of his rolling belly and didn't want to undress in front of the other boys. Ergo, don't ever play, and he wouldn't have to change. However, if he was there, he might catch a wink of a penis in the shower, or someone cute in their underwear. Until his eyes lingered too long, and then he would hear a short, curt, "What the fuck are you looking at, faggot?" He was shaken from his reverie. "You," he says. "Yeah, you. The dude who used to play in the NFL keeps talking as if Atticus had been paying attention the whole time. You've been in to block the whole time, and I want you to just hit your guy, run into the middle, and the ball will be there for you. Addie thinks, what the fuck have I done? Why am I here? A muse inspires me to do an insane thing and I do it? He won't care. Ever. You know that, right? But he tells his rational brain to shut up, like usual. He could be home with his wife getting fatter, being bored, watching his children, watching them do boring things. He could be reading Dune for the 50 billionth time, watching Breaking Bad, jerking off. But this, he's standing on a football field with 21 other men and one dude who used to play in the NFL, trying to win a football game. It's 3rd and long, and they're at the 1-yard line, and Doug, he's expecting Atticus to catch this motherfucking ball and turn it over for a new set of downs. This is insane, and he is an insane person. But what difference will it make? Catch it? Don't catch it? Seriously, who gives a fuck? It's a backwater game in the middle of nowhere with 21 men and one dude who used to play in the NFL. Please don't say hike, Atticus thinks. Then, hike. Of course, hike. Running wildly, he forgets to hit his man. But he's in the middle now, and for some strange reason there's a ball in his hands. If he stops here, that's 10 yards. He's got it. But he's not. He's running. Why? The field is a green blur, and they're shouting, and for a moment he's thinking that he ran the wrong way. But he didn't, and there's a sharp snap, an unbelievable pain in his chest, and everything is sky. Someone had caught up with him, tripped him, and broken 2 of his ribs near the sternum, right above his heart. He had run the ball 60 yards, and there was cheering, and that dude who used to play in the NFL came up and shook his hands. With bone spurs in his chest, and extreme pain while breathing for the next 6 weeks. Was it worth it? Totally. Then he realizes he was never upset at the fact that no boys had ever asked him to play, but at the fact that he had sat out for so long. At this. Why? That was only 6 years ago to me, and I'm still inundated by my muse. It'll never happen, and I'm okay with that. Love has driven me to do some pretty insane things, but I can't help thinking this might be all I get. Is this a sufficient recompense? I've come out of the closet. I've ended a bad relationship and made it a good one. I actually enjoy watching football. I've pushed myself to get an education. I'm a better father now than I've ever been as a sad, angry shit. I've become a more reasonable and rational person. I made a YouTube channel that has a modest amount of subscribers. I have new friends. I've learned to love myself, no matter how crazy I am. And I've learned more now than I ever have, had I not been in love. Tell me in the comments, ever had a muse? Ever been in love with someone that you can't have? I await your response. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, wherever.